because of the recession, because of what's happening in the outsourcing marketplace at the moment, there's this quick problem that's been created. On the one hand, we have companies. I didn't realize I disrupted this. We have a quick problem. And a lot of companies, you would assume they would start offshoring. Everyone needs to preserve cash. Everyone has to get cash and reduce their outgoings. So, you know, you would have assumed that there would be a lot more offshoring because of the recession. And I've heard people from outsourcing suppliers making, you know, giving speeches and saying, oh, the recession's a great thing. You know, everyone's going to want to save money, so they'll come and give us business. But at the same time, because they want to preserve money, a lot of companies are not making any spending decisions. So you see this sort of twin problem. People are holding on to cash. They're not going through change programs. They're not going through outsourcing programs. It's certainly changing recently. I mean, certainly in the last 6 months, it looks things are a bit better. I mean, like Hilary was saying, actually. But certainly the last couple of years have been very tough in the marketplace. So another thing that's happening recently is the backlash. And it's probably true that next year, a lot of people are really going to be paying a lot of attention to Africa for the World Cup. China, just to begin with, I think I should probably change. So we'll go for the Chinese shirt. China has a lot of problems with IT outsourcing and offshoring. In fact, they don't have any individual trade body that represents the industry, and that's a big problem. There's no NASSCOM equivalent. You know, we've all seen that NASSCOM in India since the 80s representing the industry. And one of the biggest problems I find talking to a lot of Chinese companies is that the regions and the cities compete with each other and almost talk each other down. And you know, it just doesn't feel good, and it's becoming a problem for them. So India, so that's Mumbai. I was out there a couple of weeks ago. So India, it's the leader. I mean, it's much bigger. It's, you know, if you want IT, then India is basically the place to go. I mean, this is clearly the leader. However, a lot of the companies are struggling to deal with the shock of this recession. You know, they've really seen hyper-growth. They've been used to hiring tens of thousands of people every year, and suddenly they find that, you know, they're not getting new business, and they're struggling. I mean, for the very large players, they can just stop hiring. You know, that's easy. But I think that really what you'll see in the IT and service sector is a lot of the second tier and third tier companies are really going to struggle to get through this. So Russia, so we'll go through the same drill. Russia has got a huge number of very, very talented people. I mean, especially in you know, very detailed engineering work. I mean, the space program historically left a lot of people that are very well educated, engineering and science. But the problem is that, you know, if you're now sort of investing overseas and you want to work in with a company or to locate your own offshoring centre somewhere, then the saber rattling and the belligerence of the government just doesn't make it look a very attractive place at the moment. I think it's going to be quite difficult to bring people in and make them feel that Russia's a really attractive place to do business at the moment. So, hang on, that's the more politically correct Brazil one. Of course, that was the first thing I thought of when I thought of putting a Brazil picture. Quite simple. You know, we see this problem on both sides, that on one side of the world, you've got a small company that needs a particular service, but they can't find that service. Because, you know, if I'm, say, a small retailer and I want to buy some IT service, I'm not going to go to IBM and commission them to build a system for me, because IBM, I don't want to be the 10,000th customer of IBM. I think that what we'll start seeing is a lot more self-service. If you look at an organisation like Salesforce.com, for example, they're totally radically changing. I'm sorry, I'm making you wait longer. They're radically changing the way that CRM works and allowing people to dip into the cloud, use the service, and then pay for it as it's being used. And I think that that's essentially how things will change. It won't just be CRM. We'll see every sort of IT service changing and becoming much more oriented towards being able to dip in and buy it and use it and pay for it as you use it.